Republic Act No. 9995. An act defining and penalizing the crime of photo and video voyeurism, prescribing penalties therefor, and for other purposes. Be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the Philippines in Congress assembled. Section 1. Short title. This act shall be known as the Anti-Photo and Video Voyeurism Act of 2009. Section 2. Declaration of Policy. The state values the dignity and privacy of every human person, and guarantees full respect for human rights. Toward this end, the state shall penalize acts that would destroy the honor, dignity, and integrity of a person. Section 3. Definition of terms. For purposes of this act, the term a. Broadcast means to make public, by any means, a visual image with the intent that it be viewed by a person or persons. b. Capture, with respect to an image, means to videotape, photograph, film, record by any means, or broadcast. c. Female breast, means any portion of the female breast. d. Photo, or video voyeurism, means the act of taking photo or video coverage of a person, or group of persons performing sexual act, or any similar activity, or of capturing an image of the private area of a person or persons, without the latter's consent, under circumstances in which such person, or persons has, or have a reasonable expectation of privacy, or the act of selling, copying, reproducing, broadcasting, sharing, showing, or exhibiting the photo, or video coverage, or recordings of such sexual act, or similar activity through VCD, or DVD, Internet, cellular phones, and similar means or device, without the written consent of the person, persons involved, notwithstanding that consent to record, or take photo, or video coverage of same was given by such persons. e. Private area of a person, means the naked or undergarment-clad genitals, public area, buttocks, or female breast of an individual. f. Under circumstances in which a person has a reasonable expectation of privacy, means believe that he, or she could disrobe in privacy, without being concerned that an image, or a private area of the person was being captured, or circumstances in which a reasonable person would believe that a private area of the person, would not be visible to the public, regardless of whether that person is in a public or private place. Section 4. Prohibited Acts. It is hereby prohibited and declared unlawful for any person a. to take photo, or video coverage of a person, or group of persons performing sexual act, or any similar activity, or to capture an image of the private area of a person, or persons such as the naked, or undergarment-clad genitals, public area, buttocks, or female breast, without the consent of the person, or persons involved, and under circumstances in which the person, or persons, has, or have a reasonable expectation of privacy. b. To copy or reproduce, or to cause to be copied or reproduced, such photo, or video, or recording of sexual act, or any similar activity with or without consideration. c. To sell or distribute, or cause to be sold or distributed, such photo, or video, or recording of sexual act, whether it be the original copy, or reproduction thereof. Or, d. To publish or broadcast, or cause to be published or broadcast, whether in print or broadcast media, or show, or exhibit the photo, or video coverage, or recordings of such sexual act, or any similar activity through VCD, or DVD, Internet, cellular phones, and other similar means or device. The prohibition under paragraphs b, c, and d shall apply, notwithstanding that consent to record, or take photo, or video coverage of the same was given by such person, or persons. Any person who violates this provision, shall be liable for photo, or video voyeurism, as defined herein. Section 5. Penalties. The penalty of imprisonment of not less than 3 years, but not more than 7 years, and a fine of not less than 100,000 pesos, but not more than 500,000 pesos, or both, at the discretion of the court shall be imposed upon any person found guilty of violating Section 4 of this Act. If the violator is a juridical person, its license or franchise shall be automatically be deemed revoked, and the persons liable shall be the officers thereof, including the editor and reporter in the case of print media, and the station manager, editor, and broadcaster in the case of a broadcast media. If the offender is a public officer, or employee, or a professional, he, or she shall be administratively liable. If the offender is an alien, he, or she shall be subject to deportation proceedings after serving his, or her sentence, and payment of fines. Section 6. Exemption. Nothing contained in this Act, however, shall render it unlawful, or punishable for any peace officer, who is authorized by a written order of the court, to use the record or any copy thereof, as evidence in any civil, criminal investigation, or trial of the crime of photo, or video voyeurism, provided, that such written order shall only be issued or granted upon written application, and the examination under oath or affirmation of the applicant and the witnesses he, or she may produce, and upon showing that there are reasonable grounds to believe that photo, or video voyeurism has been committed, or is about to be committed, and that the evidence to be obtained is essential to the conviction of any person for, or to the solution, or prevention of such crime. Section 7. Inadmissibility of evidence. Any record, photo, or video, or copy thereof, obtained or secured by any person in violation of the preceding sections, shall not be admissible in evidence in any judicial, quasi-judicial, legislative, or administrative hearing or investigation. Section 8. Separability Clause. If any provision or part hereof is held invalid or unconstitutional, the remaining provisions not affected thereby shall remain valid and subsisting. Section 9. Repealing Clause. Any law, presidential decree, or issuance, executive order, letter of instruction, administrative order, rule or regulation contrary to, or inconsistent with the provisions of this Act, is hereby repealed, modified, or amended accordingly. Section 10. Effectivity Clause. This Act shall take effect 15 days after its complete publication in the Official Gazette, or in 2 newspapers of general circulation. Approved, February 15, 2010. Prepared by my idol, Taunton of PHILIPPINE Band. Thank you for listening.